I'm good now. Got my
Do it.
coffee, ready to roll.
Beautiful. Well, yeah, let's kick it off then. Cue the news broadcast music. We're doing this again. We're running it back. On Thursday, it was so over, but now we are so back. Bitcoin dropped below 60K only to bounce harder than my child support checks. We've passed 65K, but why are we so green? More info in our macro breakdown. Off the grid, more like on the chain, your nephew's favorite streamers are all playing a blockchain-based game and actually enjoying it. How is this possible? More at 11. And while the market has been chop suey for the past month, the Sui token has quietly been on an absolute tear. Last week, the network also surpassed Solana in number of transactions by a lot. What's the best way to get in now? No, really, please tell me. I don't think anybody's figured it out yet. As always, the show's rated NFA, not financial advice, and I am joined by my fearless leader and co-host, Jake and Bake. Jake, how are you, man? Did you have a good week?
Yeah, I'm doing excellent. We're once again waking up to some green on a Monday morning, so that really brightens my day. That's for sure. Touched some
It
grass,
helps.
did some wedding stuff over the weekend. Gearing up over there, but yeah, man, just pretty pumped for where we're going. Get into it here in a second, but very optimistic here. Sun is shining. Say that. How are you doing?
Great. Yeah. Like you said, the green charts definitely help. Had a little bit of a relaxed weekend. I did celebrate my son's third birthday yesterday. It was awesome.
Happy birthday to him.
Hey, yeah, I'll pass it on. He wanted to have a dinosaur party. So we got him a whole
Oh, no.
dinosaur costume. It's going to double his Halloween outfit because I'm frugal like that. But man, he was pumped, dude. So happy to see the smiling face and just be reminded of the joys of childhood. But hey, we're here now to do some adult stuff and talk about the markets and whatnot. So excited for that as well. Eager to see how shitcoins have been going after I got completely washed out 2 weeks ago. So I'll live vicariously through you. But then also just the market and some exciting stuff going on, man. Definitely want to talk about off the grid. Did some DD last week. So I want to report back some of my findings.
Yeah,
Did you get a
love
chance
that.
to play yet? Have you got that installed, man? It is free.
I have not. I need to do that.
Yeah, man, hop on. Brawlers might be able to carry you. He's been flexing his stats. Bro is an absolute monster.
Oh,
Cool. Well, yeah. Let's go
um,
ahead and jump into it then, man. Let's start with macro as we always do, and maybe we can kind of get a sense of why we just kind of blew through 65K, which shocked me since we were, teetering and dipping under 60K just a few days ago. So talk to me, man. How's the market looking?
yeah. I think this is it right here. I think this is the one. This is the pump. Um, that carries us out of this range. I'm feeling really good about it. Um, Going into some detail here, but quick update: Bitcoin up 3.6% on the week. ETH up 6.5%. Solana up 4.7%. The ETH strike. Who would have thought? Feels like it never lasts, but we'll see. Um, Not a macro expert, but I do like to follow people who I think are. So I'll give a quick, kind of recap on their thoughts. People I trust, Crypto Donald, my most referenced. Uh, he's currently saying, above. He said, I think it was yesterday. He said above 65K, and we finally escaped this chop. Basically, I just posted in voice hangout chat his Bitcoin chart that he's been updating weekly with his levels, and essentially saying, and obviously currently we're sitting at 66K about. So we're looking really good as long as we don't nuke in like the next few hours or so, I'd say. Um, it's looking pretty excellent. He has an extra resistance around 69K, but that's kind of like a false resistance, I'd say, pretty weak. Where the real resistance is all time high, about above 72K or so, 71 to 73K in that range. Probably bounce off that a little bit before fully ripping all the way through. But it's looking really good. He essentially was saying in a different update. I thought I had the tweet, but I don't have it handy at this very second. That this most recent dip to 60 was the next higher low. And if you will, and if I think even if just basic TA, a higher low is always a good thing. It means we're kind of dipping, but not as much, which makes sense. So, and then we kind of put that low in, and hopefully we continue to make higher highs from there, and build up. Um, on the other note, a couple other people I follow, Web3 Quant and OGG Farmer. They're pretty much, I mean, they're basically in the same line. They're probably even more bullish than Don. Usually Don's a bit muted with his reactions, and a bit even keel, and these guys are a bit more out there. They're both saying, yeah, we broke out, and we're gonna go pretty much violently higher, is what OGD says. Here's a tweet for reference, saying couple inches from the beginning of the last dance, a face melting run that will teleport us to 100K. Last resistance to destroy right now. That was like a few hours ago when he tweeted that. I think we've gone up since then as well, so that's great. But yeah, all around looking excellent. I've been saying, like, in the past couple Wake and Jakes, that my feeling is like we're like pretty much almost back. I didn't want to fully commit, and I think I'm gonna fully commit on this one. I think we are back.
Oh shit! There it is. Oh wow, that's a big revelation. Time to lock in. Damn, that's crazy.
Absolutely. I mean, if you've been already locked in, I'd say, and paying attention, you'd see that, like, especially in shit coins, that, like, yeah, for sure we are back, because there's been some crazy run-ups in shit coins in the past week or two. People are making a lot of money. It's great to see. The shitcoin chat is like popping off like crazy. There's been like Goat Coin, for instance. There's like some AI created coin. I mean, we'll get into those meme coins a little bit. I'm already getting ahead of myself because I'm so excited. But that ran up to like 200 million in like less than a week. Just some wild stuff happening right now. Yeah. And we shared it here at like 2 million. So love to see. I think actually probably less than that, probably like in the 1 millions or whatever. But anyway, we're feeling good.
Yeah, seems euphoric, I guess, if you were active and paying attention. But what about the rest of us, man? Are we just gonna? You think? Yeah, this is an exciting prospect here. Just face melting run that will teleport to 100K. Seems like a fairy tale, but I guess we'll see here.
Yeah, I know. I think I think if it is, then it's like, I think so many people are conditioned right now, just from how much we've chopped and how much fake outs we have, that once it really does happen, there'll be a lot of disbelief. There'll be a lot of like thinking that, oh, it's just gonna drop it back down, or people are gonna say, oh, people are too euphoric right now, I gotta sell everything. And then they'll just get left sidelined because they're just they've just been conditioned through this chop that that's what they need to do. But usually the market does the opposite. So I think that's a lot of people's first reactions to like any type of bullet, like overall bullish sentiment, like especially like on the timeline, is like, all right, wait, I need to sell right now. But when something does break out and goes higher, it's usually just like continues to go, especially from like this long of a range, this big a range, 6 months. It's usually pretty violent once it actually does get out of this range. So we aren't there yet, but I'm still gonna preemptively say that I think we're gonna get there.
Interesting, yeah, and good shout about just sentiment and euphoria. It's like, yeah, it feels like an abusive relationship. Crypto does. It's just like we're getting beat down constantly. So it's like we're not allowed to have nice things, not allowed to feel happy. So if there's too much of that going on, then yeah, it's usually like a sell signal. But yeah, it's interesting to think that this is the time to load up your bags. I want to actually ask you a question. I haven't asked you this in months, man. We used to do it often, but just hasn't really had a good answer lately. But it might now. So maybe we can bring back the segment of where you see yourself allocating funds this week. So in the week ahead, do you have any liquidity ready to go? You got any plans? Anything that you're watching, waiting for dips? Talk to me about how you're going to deploy some capital, if you are.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's just shit coins pretty much, for the most part. Meme coins. I think that's they've continued to lead the way this entire cycle. I think they only will continue. I don't really see that stopping anytime soon. Yeah, so that is for the most part, I think that's where I'm gonna be. Maybe dips on some established stuff. I think the majors will probably do really well. Stuff like Whiff and PopCat, Mog, Pepe, the big ones, those will probably do pretty well. Or if you want like a quote unquote safe shitcoin. But for me, I'll probably be spending most of the time and energy on like new launches, where you can kind of get the most upside. So I'll just be scanning new stuff, seeing if it looks interesting enough, and going from there. Like for instance, there is some. I mean, the market's just so hot in shitcoins right now. I mean, I honestly, that being said, I did get like wrecked this morning already, which is super shitty. But there was like a coin called Rough, where people thought like it might be like the Bohm dev or whatever, but there was like no confirmation. Like the art was just kind of similar to Bohm, and it ran up to like 9 million in like what is this, an hour? Yeah, from 0 to 9 million in like an hour, and it ended up not being the Bohm dev. But like people didn't even like wait for any type of confirmation. They just ran it up to 9 million, which is crazy in like an hour, from 0 off a pump fund. Sure. So yeah, that just shows you already like the appetite to degen is really high right now. The appetite to take risks, and that would have like never happened a month ago. Not even close. It probably wouldn't even got to like 1 million, maybe 1 million.
Yeah, dead on arrival or dead once it hits 1 million. But it sounds like people are tripping over themselves to get in on it. Quick shout, we did have like a meme coin talk last week. If you missed office hours, you can watch the recording over in video content. I'm sure there's a lot of information and guidance on how you can get into these meme coins. But just for our audience that are here now or maybe didn't catch it, could you walk me through how you're monitoring? You say you're watching for new pairs. Me as a novice, that means just watching the shitcoin chat in MVHQ. But talk to me about the process. Are you watching BullX, or are you watching just new pairs added and checking out the Twitters, or waiting for tickers to be shared around, or how are you going about spotting and scouting out these new coins?
Yeah, like you said, I think that recording should be up. Right? I can't remember if you said.
Oh yeah, it's up. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, you can check that out. We went definitely more in depth there. We're also going to continue to do that weekly. It probably won't be like fully, like tips and stuff. It'll probably be more like following the trend in the market. But we're going to continue to have a shitcoin event weekly on Wednesdays, probably 2 p.m. EST. But I think TBD if that 100% works. Every week, but that's relatively the plan. So if you guys want to check that out, yeah, I'll do it like shortly. You can always just listen back to the other one if you really want it. But yeah, I use BullX. Is probably my favorite because you can do the customized limit orders. You can see the chart at the same time that you're trading, unlike like a Telegram bot, for instance, or whatever Discord bot. And it's just really easy to use, in my opinion. And you can do it across Sol, ETH, Base, a couple other chains, all within the same thing. So, and it just gives you a ton of great information around holders, around the dev holders, around like insiders, around like it gives you like caution flags if it seems like a scam coin, all those different things. So I like BullX the most. Photon's pretty good too. I just like BullX a little bit better. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. Thanks for the info and the little appetizer for the shitcoin recording there. If you guys want to go watch that, I dropped it in Voice Hangout chat, the link to it. And then, yeah, like you said, we'll have some continued events where you guys can tune in. So just grab that events ping and keep your eye on the events calendar if you want to attend those later in the week. Yeah, awesome. I
Yeah, I
guess.
wanted to get back to macro though. I didn't
Yeah, I
really
was just
want
about to
to.
say we're almost fully
Um,
shitcoin now. Yeah. Let's roll it back a little bit.
yeah,
Talk to
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Stay on track here. I just real quick want to touch on ETH. While we are on it, Don is continues to be decently bullish ETH, which is notable to me because it's been so shitty this entire time. But he kind of gave a little bit of chart to follow. Here, it's like basically this triangle um, where ETH he think might range maybe like into like the end of the year. But if we were to break past, like 270 or like 2750 or so, then he essentially is expecting like a melt up, like pretty significantly up to like 3300, 3350 or so. So I think that's a nice level to watch here on ETH. We could have some strength finally if it were to get above that level. I mean, we're seeing strength this week so far, today so far. Um, but I think we've seen plenty of fake outs already that I'm certainly not trusting it until we see some type of prolonged trend.
Got it. You trust in the market go up, but not ETH, huh? Man, hurts to hear.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, but yeah, that's all I had on the ETH stuff. Now we can transition to meme coins.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll
Um,
give one little shout out here. Mitch dropped some info right before we went live on the show. I don't know if you're still around, Mitch. If you are, this probably could get info for the show. Just to kind of give some context for the market and stuff. But again, no pressure. Just want to give you a second there if you are available. All good. Hey, got to shoot my shot, man. Shoot or shoot. So he basically just shared some conversation that he had regarding the ETFs sort of absorbing a large amount of retail investment, so that shitcoins aren't necessarily running as hard as they would in previous cycles alongside the majors, just because people are getting tied up into these ETFs instead of having custody of their own funds and making their bag and then rotating it into meme coins. But I thought it was an interesting little jumping off point, but I can't summarize it as well as he did, but that's okay. We can move right along onto shitcoins, which I guess we already kind of covered a little bit ground level, but I know you wanted to talk shitcoins this morning. Did you have any exciting runs from last week or big W's or any lessons learned or anything? How's it looking over in the trenches?
yeah, I had some nice wins last week, thankfully. Yeah, I don't have like a ton to touch on. I more so wanted to give some updates, just like continue to um I guess preach like I think this is kind of the thing this cycle, at least one of the things that's going to be the hot trend. I don't see it going away. So it's hard because I don't want to tell people like, hey, you should shitcoin. But I also think it might probably be like a decent investment of your time to learn a bit more, because I don't think it's like it's something that's going to go away anytime soon, especially if you already were like trading NFTs, and if you are like have a trader mindset in general. I'm just like careful around like saying, yeah, you should get like super involved in shitcoins because it's just so volatile and it's so risky. But if you practice proper like risk management, if you just set aside like a very small percentage of your overall bankroll and you dedicate time to like learn, and you're only doing small amounts, and you're being responsible and tracking your trades and stuff like that, I think it's only going to get hotter as a market. And I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities um, over in the shitcoin streets for like the remainder of the cycle. It's just hard for me to see it going away with how much strength it's shown, and especially how people got burned last cycle. Mainstream with NFTs, like NFTs were so hot mainstream, and a lot of people just got wrecked on them. It's hard to see them coming back this cycle and be like, yeah, let's get into NFTs again. It seems more likely that they just get into shitcoins, especially because they're easier. All you have to do is just buy a coin, and then all of a sudden you're like a part of the community, similar to NFTs. Um, I still think there's going to be plenty of opportunities in NFTs. Probably gaming will be one. Like, we can touch on off the grid. But I also think probably if there's any breakout mobile games, which I'm hoping Pirate Nation is personally. But also there's likely going to be some other ones in there, and then maybe some art stuff too. There actually is an art blocks curated that looks semi interesting to me coming up. I'm not sure exactly what the date is off the top of my head, but I'm sure you can just go to Artblock's website to look that up. But other than that, I just think meme coins in general are going to be like the thing, the cycle. So if you are someone who trades, or who like wants to make more speculative bets, I think this is like probably one of the best areas to allocate towards.
Yeah, great shouts all around, especially about just the disclaimers, the cautions, the word of warning. If you're new to this and you're getting into it, definitely apply all the stuff we've been saying over the past week or two in the shitcoin chat as well. Just like put your seatbelt on. Use a small amount of your bags, just so you can feel like you're part of it and you can learn those lessons without blowing your shit up. But yeah, if you're a seasoned veteran, then we appreciate you and hats off. We look forward to your tickers as you drop them in the shitcoin chat. But yeah, exciting times. I guess what is Solana? Is that sort of just where most of the action seems to be happening? I know that's like Pump Fun is through Solana, right?
Yeah, Solana. There's ETH coins too. There's some base coins as well. So it's cross, but Solana is definitely the biggest at the moment.
Beautiful. All right, we'll get your soul ready. I did want to share a tweet here. This is regarding Sui Network, which this caught me by surprise. It looks like they flipped Solana in number of transactions, and based on this chart, it's happening fast and it's by a lot. So I'm not super plugged in on Sui. I was genuine in that intro. I don't know the best way to get into it. There looks like there's a couple cat tokens. That seems to be a good entry into networks. So I got my eyes on some of those. But we had talked about the like Pump Fun on Sui launching last week. It looks like that got pushed back, and it's actually going to happen on the 20th. But I mean, just based on the activity and the number of transactions, it seems like that might be a place to be. It's still kind of relatively quiet, all things considered. Do you have any thoughts, takes on Sui? I know we talk about it, every week, but anything new there?
Yeah, they just launched a Pump Fun clone over on Sui. I actually have not been as plugged in over there recently. I probably should have, but I think they just did on Saturday.
Okay, I thought that was the one that got pushed back. Maybe I am looking. Is it on Hop? Is it Hop's version?
Oh, did it get pushed back?
Yeah. It looks like they're doing this additional security audit. That's Hop Fun, I think is what they're calling it. Let me see.
Yeah, Hop Fun.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like they are pushing that back to the 20th. So gives people a little bit more time to read up, get educated, and get bridged over if they do want to participate. I'm looking forward to it personally. Solana, there's so much going on. I really just have to rely on you guys that are able to suss through everything. But I feel like kind of even playing ground, on a new blockchain here, a new Pump Fun clone, but on a different network seems like a good opportunity. So personally, I'm trying to scrape some funds together, get them bridged over, and just kind of wait and try to partake in the chaos whenever that goes live.
Yeah, I would say the transaction thing you mentioned, I'd be pretty skeptical that's real data. But I will say, because transactions can be definitely botted pretty heavily, I'd say something that's a little bit more of a better indicator would be net flows. So essentially how much money is getting bridged over compared to how much is leaving a chain. And it is doing really well in that. There's a good... I forgot who originally shared this, so sorry for not giving credit. But there's a good dashboard here. I just shared in VC. I'll call on Artemis.xyz that shows flows for every chain. And you can kind of see the top 15 net flows in the last, like week or so, Sui is net about 56 million inflows. So that's really good. That's definitely growing. It's just right behind Base. It's second. It's actually bigger than Solana and ETH. And then there's a bunch that are negative. And then I think even in like the last month, Sui is second as well, just behind Ethereum in net inflows. So yeah, it's certainly growing right now, and growing. New ecosystems are usually good bets to find some kind of asymmetric upside in. So I still think like if you get really involved in Sui and you like figure out where the diehard communities are, where people are like building and like really kind of cultish and not even like talking about price, whether that be a meme coin, whether that be a protocol that people are using, whatever. I think that's likely going to be a great area to bet on, like in the next probably months, few weeks to months or whatever, as Sui continues to gain more and more attention and flows. And you can just kind of just track those flows, I'd say, as a good indicator to see if it is still hot, the hot chain or whatever.
Yeah, awesome resource, man. This is great. I'm gonna bookmark this. I mean, I'm looking at this, and I think the story here is what the fuck happened to Arbitrum? They have more outflow than Solana has. They're doing as bad as Solana is doing good. Speech. I'm gonna have to look into that, see what they did. But my goodness.
Yeah, I think it's just like
Billion outflow.
there's just so many L2s now and other chains that, and I don't know, ARB's just not really on the map as much anymore. They don't have much going on. Their biggest thing I think is just like Hyperliquid.
Yeah, Rick and Mars saying the unlocks were bad. Unlocks for VCs. Yeah, I'm seeing 51 million unlocked this week, and then $120 million recall from a gaming fund. That's just from Googling the word Arbitrum. So, yeah, okay. The party is not over on ARB. Noted.
Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah.
Well, anything else? Crazy unlocks. Well, they're bleeding it out. Jesus. Did you have anything else on shitcoins that you wanted to talk through, or can we kind of move on to the next topic?
No, that was about it. Unless anyone else has something.
Sweet. Yeah, we'll kick it out to the audience here. Brief pause. Anybody? Any stories? Any tickers? Any thoughts on shitcoins, Solana, Sui, Arbitrum? Cool. Quiet morning. Everybody's locked in, getting their trades together. Sweet. Well, I want to talk about one topic today, and that was, it's like I mentioned in the intro, it's Off the Grid, the Gunzilla game, which has just been a really strong narrative in the past week in crypto. They had a ridiculously large push on day one with a lot of streamers, streamers that I recognize, and I don't really watch streamers these days, but Tim the Tap Man, Ninja, Shroud, like the biggest names are playing this and seem to be enjoying themselves. I mean, it's been across the, it's an ad, right? So they're paid to do this, but they genuinely seem to enjoy the game. And it's kind of refreshing to see the narrative kind of be chipped away of like anti-crypto. Here, I'm going to drop one clip here. This is Shroud. Dude is just is a really good streamer. He's an aimbot. He's actually releasing his own game right now and has been like trying to promote and stream his game. But here he is playing Off the Grid and basically explaining how NFTs aren't necessarily like PFP scams, and that essentially all the game is doing is making what the Steam Marketplace does, where you can track your items and stuff that we all know and understand. But it takes people like this saying it simply for people to start to grasp it. So even if Off the Grid isn't the game that's going to deliver us, at least the conversation around blockchain gaming is starting to shift a bit. It's so taboo on Twitch. Like if you support crypto or NFTs, then you're just asking to get canceled. But we have literally the top streamers in the world playing the game and saying that it's good. The game is good, which is the first thing that you need before anything else. So we've got a fun game. We've got people saying, hey, you know what? Maybe owning your guns and selling them on a marketplace isn't the worst thing, which is exciting. Because I mean, I think we all know and agree that it's pretty sweet, but the rest of the world has been vehemently against it. A couple stats here. I'm going to paste a link to their blockchain scanner. They are up to 54 million transactions, which, like you said, transactions aren't the greatest metric to track stuff. But on their first day, they were at like 2 million, and now we're at 54. So it seems like it's heating up, or it's being farmed additionally. 5.5 million wallet addresses. And if you're completely out of the loop on the game, it's like a battle royale type extraction game. It's groups of 3. It's a shooter. You drop in, you loot different guns, different armor, weapon part, or body parts as you go. But they're actually hexes, or like loot crates, basically inside of the game, that if you manage to loot those off the ground and put them into like an extraction machine, it'll start a timer. You have to defend it. And if it gets extracted, it gets added to like your inventory outside of that match. So like your personal wallet that you have for this game. All of the items can be sold like inside of the game. This is on a PC, PS5, and Xbox. I'm playing on a PS5, but when you open up the item in your inventory, you can see a chart of the price, which was like super jarring for me, just to see like inside of a game, but pretty dope. You go to the shop for a cosmetic and it says how much gun token you have to pay for it. But that price is like, there's listings, so people undercutting each other. It's an interesting thing to see in a game like active and taking place, which has so many players on it. We did do an investment round through MVHQ that a lot of people got in on. If you want to track and check and see how that's going, there is a marketplace on Base VC. I'm going to drop a link for that as well. You can sign in with your token and see how much you invested. And then there's also offers, so people can buy you out of your position. You can also buy into a position if you want to invest now. It looks like there's some listings that are about 2x. You can get in for about 2x what people paid in the seed or private. I'm not sure if it was seed or private, but that's probably neither here nor there. But yeah, here's the link in chat if you want to check that out. It seems to be going good. It's pretty crazy that this was like the most watched game. Granted, they literally paid for all the biggest streamers, and it's fallen off. It's fallen off dramatically as of this morning. But still, just really exciting to see. I've been looking at the chats. People like brawlers are going crazy on here. So you can play and you can earn their token right now, and it's free. They do have like I think it's $12 or $13 sort of premium membership, which is monthly. And that includes like the battle pass and also some multipliers and the amount of tokens that you earn. So if you farmed Web3 games and you're down to run it back, I think this looks like a good one. It might be the one. I don't know how much you'll make or what the conversion's like. Don't know even if the tokenomics are strong. I just had a good time playing the game, and I think it's been a long time since we've had something like that. So wanted to share it on the show and see if anybody has any thoughts, or if anybody wants to click up and carry me to some W's. But yeah, I'll stop there. All right, sounds like I'm dropping solo. That's fine. It's okay. Jake, you got to help me out here, man. Please download it, install it.
I'm not playing much games on the console lately. I probably will have to, though, just to check it out. It looks fun. I mean, I watched some stream of it was like Tim and the Tatman or whatever and Ninja playing it, and it looks like they were enjoying it. I know they got paid, but still, it looked kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like you can get paid and struggle through any game, but I mean, they seem like they're having a fucking blast, and they're gods at games too. It's crazy. Like I played, like I saw the clips, and then I played. And I'm like, man, I'm not playing the same game as them. It's pretty crazy, but yeah, it's very fast paced. A lot of movement abilities. You got grappling hooks, jetpack every time that you jump off of a fucking 3-foot ledge. You can just like start jetpacking and flying across the map. So yeah, really fast paced gameplay. Really fun. Servers kind of got demolished on day one, and the wait times are a little bit more because I think it's 150 people in one match. But man, it's pretty good. Gets 5 stars from me. All right, sweet. So the gamers are still asleep. That's all right. They probably stayed up all night grinding this shit. A couple other just quick things that we have, just some housekeeping stuff. MVHQ has a couple missions that are going to expire in the next 48 hours, 24 hours, really. There's 3 that end, and then one that ends in 2 days. So go hit up the app, go knock out these missions, get your points. We did have a town hall last week. Appreciate everybody that rolled through to that one. I can go ahead and drop the link to the recording in Voice Hangout chat as well. We also had Silva whip up some field report notes, just in case you couldn't watch the whole thing. But some pretty good revelations there. A lot to be excited about, a lot to be bullish on as far as the platform and partners and missions and blockchains and whatnot. So don't sleep. Definitely go knock out those missions. Make sure you're engaging on socials, likes, retweets, replies, especially if your reply gets liked by the MVHQ account. You're gonna be swimming in those social points, and we're gonna take care of people that are engaging and supporting along the way. But yeah, I wanted to shout out that town hall and the missions that are live. Go knock those out and keep on stacking. Jake, do you have anything else? I guess actually one more thing is Off the Grid it's on its own blockchain, but it's a sub blockchain of Avalanche. And Avalanche kind of unveiled in a recent blog post, dropping the link for it now, a new initiative called Avalanche 9000, which is essentially just like a out of the box L1 creator. You can just generate your own L1 using their framework. And looking at Gunzilla, looking at Off the Grid's Explorer, it seems to be working great. Seems to be very functional. Even in the game, you're not seeing like long wait times. I think it has about a 6-second average transaction confirm time, which is great for gaming. So yeah, I wanted to share that as well. We might see a lot of L1s popping up here for gaming initiatives and various DeFi stuff, just using this Avalanche 9000. Drop the blog article if you want to get into the technicals, but it seems exciting. Seems like a new level of access for builders and people that just want to create stuff that has quick transactions, low fees, but they don't have a computer science degree and aren't blockchain experts. So wanted to share that because we support builders. That's all from my end, man. Got my rants off.
Yeah, man. I don't really have anything else today. I think we probably wrap it up unless you guys have anything you wanted to touch on. Anything we forget?
Yes, sir. Happy to hear from our live audience if anybody is here this morning. I did want to shout out, we might have a potential rescheduling of Boss Dog that might get pushed earlier today. So if you're looking forward to that show, keep your eye on the calendar. We'll send a ping out once it's confirmed, but it might be at 3 Eastern as opposed to 5 Eastern, so 2 hours earlier. But TBD there. If it goes to another day, we'll be sure to get that ping out.
Confirmed for 3 p.m.
Oh, let's go, Mr. Ross Boss himself. All right, sweet. So yeah, 3 p.m. Eastern for Boss Dogs today. Make sure you adjust your schedule accordingly so you can catch that live.
Yes, sir. A couple hours. Runes have been going crazy. I keep seeing a ton of stuff about them on the timeline. A lot of speculation on big exchanges adding support for them. So it seems like a lot of people are making some long-term bets on them. So I'm excited to see what old Ross and Woff have to say.
Same, yes. They're so bullish they had to move the show earlier so we can get the alpha quicker.
Respect.
Love to hear it. Cool. Well, yeah, we can go ahead and wrap things up here. I appreciate everybody rolling through. To another episode of Wake and Jake. Of course, like we just said, Boss Dogs at 3. We also have a stacked media week just with events for the rest of the week. We're going to do Talking Shitcoins on Wednesday. So if you want to roll through live, ask questions, feel free to do that. We also have Fantasy Top Down, which had a very successful live stream over on Twitter. The first time doing it live on Twitter for the public, and the reception was incredible. Huge audience, and yeah, I think we might run that back. So we got Shitcoins, we got Boss Dog, we got Fantasy Top Down, and then Friday we'll round things out with the NFL slate talk like we usually do. But looking forward to see you guys in all of these other events, hanging around voice chat, and probably in the Shitcoin chat if I'm honest. But yeah, we'll see you there, and appreciate everybody rolling through.
Thanks, y'all.